Here we go.
So, the left have just assassinated Charlie Kirk. What is the bet that these motherfuckers at the ADL are not going to count that as an example of far left violence? They apparently were so triggered and upset at the words that Charlie Kirk used when he pretty much easily dismissed them and defeated them in arguments, usually in like 1 or 2 sentences, just by using simple logic, that they needed to kill him. And they killed him. Extreme far left terrorism. Terrorism and violence. And apparently the shooter got away too. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Absolutely disgraceful. Alright, so apparently Kash Patel's gonna head up a FBI investigation of these fucking cunt disgusting people. And I bet you it's going to go pretty fucking deep. I bet you the funding for it's going to go pretty fucking deep. Apparently they apprehended some dude, and by the look on the apprehension, it was an elderly boomer guy. Which, you know, just leads me to say, fucking boomers. Boomers are fucking retarded. Far left boomers are some of the worst people. Far left Karen boomers are some of the worst fucking people on this planet. It will be good if they just all died, because they don't know fucking shit. Far left boomer Karen people are some of the people that supported vaccine mandates out of fear of their own fucking health, without any care or understanding of what it was going to do to them or their grandchildren. Some of the worst fucking people. But now apparently they've caught someone who was at least involved. I hope they go into extreme depth with here. Extreme depth. I hope they investigate all of the organisers for the event and the venue. I hope they get all the electronic records. I hope they look deeply. This seemed very, very organised, so I hope they look very deeply into all the left around the venue. So I hope they don't just catch the killer. I hope they catch all the leftists that worked with the killer to set Charlie Kirk up. I hope they catch the people at the venue who probably scoped out the venue beforehand to know where to put a shooter, because apparently the shooter was like 200 yards away in a building looking with a clear line of sight at Charlie Kirk. Apparently with no visual barriers for the building, so they had a clean shot at him. The fucked up thing is, with that, why should... He's a podcaster. I don't think he's... Like, he's a big podcaster, fair enough, but I don't think he's involved in politics at all. Like, personally, on a personal level. Like, he's not a policy maker. He has a podcast. He calls for policies, I guess. On his podcast, he's had influential people. But mostly he just argues with people on campus. But, yeah, look, so offended by the words he needed to speak that he literally got assassinated. And he probably had security too. So he probably had security, but I guess the security wasn't concerned. Like, after all, he's not a policymaker. It's only going to be fucking lunatics that are after him. Apparently, these days, most people at university are fucking lunatics. Far left radical fucking lunatics that literally need to kill people over words. Because their own fucking worldview is so fragile and weak that they need to silence people with violence. Which is the definition of terrorism, by the way. Anyway, what they need to do is look at all the mobile phones in the area, particularly around the building. They need to arrest people, they need to seize electronic communication, all the leftists there, because I guarantee you it was organised. And all the people that are involved with it need to be fucking arrested and tried for terrorism. And preferably 20 years to prison or just hanged. Like, I'm okay with hanging them at this point. Like, what was Charlie Kirk really? He was just like a Christian, pro-life person that didn't buy into the trans nonsense. I mean, I guess they can argue that because Charlie Kirk didn't buy into the trans nonsense, some people may have killed themselves. Okay, I guess. At this point, I'm kind of glad that they killed themselves. Rather than resort to violence and shoot up a, Catholic school or assassinate Charlie Kirk, for example. Like, kind of at this point, fuck trans people. Like, especially the politically active ones that want to, like, silence speech and, conduct political violence on their political enemies and assassinate people and all that sort of thing. Kind of fuck them, actually. Fuck those people. I hope they kill themselves faster next time so they don't, end up assassinating people. Oh, what a fucking nightmare. What a fucking nightmare. Like, just a completely innocent Christian family man who's pro-life, so he didn't like left's, killing of babies. And he didn't like Islam. He was becoming more outspoken about Islam than he previously was. Like, he was never against it. Or anything like that. Like, he was never outspoken about Islamophobia or anything like that. He was rather quiet on the issue for a while. And then recently he came out as very anti-Islam, which, respect to him. And he just triggered all the fucking mentally retarded people. All the insane mentally retarded people. Who probably whacked out on, fucking gender drugs, testosterone, etc. Because they're severely fucking gender dysphoric and mentally ill. And that testosterone just filled them with an uncontrollable rage, and then they just had to premeditatedly murder a Christian man for just, speaking the truth, basically. What a fucking nightmare. Like, hopefully some good fucking comes of this. In the fact, like, hopefully Charlie Kirk didn't just die by a mentally ill retard's fucking hand for nothing. Like, hopefully some good comes from this, particularly from policy making, particularly from Trump, and they begin clearing out the universities of all these fucking retarded gender folk and, like, radical communist leftists. These fucking revolutionaries that use fucking terroristic violence on people. Like, we're not just talking about, actual violence during protests and all that sort of thing. When they were using their bodies to bar Jewish students from leaving a classroom, which is like abduction. Like all that's fucking bad enough. But yeah, all that sort of shit. Hopefully we can crack down on that now. Like, Hopefully these fucking retarded communist cunts can, I don't know, perhaps lose their tenure. Is that asking too much? If they're calling for fucking radical revolution, if they're supporting Palestine, if they're waving Palestine flags, which is, supporting Hamas, hopefully we can crack down on them now as examples of far-left terrorism. I assume at least on that campus you're going to see a bunch of involvement from the left there. This seems very, very organised, let's put it that way. He had to have known about the venue beforehand to be set up in a building. He had to have the rifle, because it was like a 200-yard shot. I don't think he can make that with a handgun. So he had to have a rifle, had to have the rifle on him, had to be prepared, had to have the rifle zeroed. Yep, had to have the position of Charlie Kirk, had to know where Charlie Kirk was going to be, had to know the visual barriers. There wouldn't be any visual barriers blocking Charlie Kirk from that building. Took his shot, and I'm assuming there were a bunch of fucking leftists and shit around that fucking building. And I'm assuming they interfered with the apprehension of the shooter. Arrest all those cunts as well. Arrest those immediately. All electronic communication, seize everything. Actually catch these cunts and actually put them through the court system. Because it's fucking unacceptable that they would just unprovoked murder an innocent man like this. Like, it's kind of the left's playbook at this point in time. Like, there's not a whole lot of consistency in any of their policies, right? Take, like, medical autonomy, for example. They want the medical autonomy to kill babies, but they don't want you to have the medical autonomy to refuse a COVID vaccine. So, there's no consistency in their position. The only consistency in their position is, it always weirdly seems to side on the side of Satan and evil. Take Charlie Kirk, for example. He was just a Christian family man. Who would want to kill him? Well, satanic fucking people who are pro-Satan, pro-evil. They probably want to kill him. People that want to murder their own babies, and Charlie Kirk was speaking out against it, they probably want to kill him. Trans people that want to, groom children essentially and then satisfy their sexual perversion in autogynephilia by dressing as men and going to women's bathrooms. They probably wanted to kill him because Charlie Kirk was speaking out against that. Who else? Islam? Yeah, they want to murder people for, desecrating Qurans. They want the ability to, subjugate you and make sex slaves of your women and children. Charlie Kirk was speaking out against those. It's pretty clear which side these people are on, if you ask me. It's pretty clear that they're on the side of fucking Satan. Like, it's pretty convenient, isn't it, that all the things that they represent are fucking evil. It's just all evil shit. It's based on violence and control, the whole lot of it. But hey, look, at least, Charlie Kirk's kids will... At least Charlie Kirk left a strong impression on the world, and he done, like, a lot of good. The cynical, mean part of me wants to say, hopefully, he got a lot of trans people to kill themselves. That's just the cynical part of me, because I really don't like trans people. Hopefully something like that happened. Hopefully his death won't be for nothing just because some fucking freak with fucking creepy politics wanted to kill him. Oh dear. But I think he will. He's already left a pretty big impact on the world, and quite frankly he was important enough to be mentioned in South Park as a political figure, even though he's like made fun of. And there's a lot of recording of all of his political opinions and who he was, and him arguing with people online. So at least his children, and he does have children, so that's another benefit to his death. He does have a legacy. So his children will at least know who their father was and all that sort of thing. Like, there's bright sides here, but fucking hell, it just seems so unnecessary that, like, a good guy needed to pay for his life just because of some fucking mentally ill cunt with a rifle. And the left are probably going to try and use this for gun control. So the whole thing was probably a political statement about gun control from the left. I'm pretty sure the topic of the debate was gun control, with Charlie Kirk obviously being pro-gun. And the left decided to kill him with a gun. I suppose they thought it was a good argument to kill him with a gun so they could push for gun control. Even though Charlie Kirk was against all of that, he's been outspoken about the importance of gun rights and all that sort of thing. Well, you're making a good argument to keep the guns out of mentally ill people's hands. You're making a good argument for that. All of the trans shooters that have shut up Christian schools are making a good argument to keep guns out of the hands of trans, gender dysphoric, and autogynephilic people that really don't like Christian schools for some reason. They always seem to be against Christianity. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Christians are, usually very nice people. Pursuing the good. The whole thing of Christian ethics and Christian common law, the whole background of the country, seems a little weird, doesn't it? That these people are always against the Christians. It's almost like they're fucking infected by Satan or something. Anyway, back to gun control. If you just ask Grok how many people have been killed by government policy, like far left government policy, totalitarian policy that's caused either man-made famine, food insecurity, that sort of thing, directly or indirectly, that number is in the tens, if not hundreds of millions. If you're focusing on a policy to reduce death and save lives, you don't want the government to be the only people with guns. If you then get a corrupt government in charge, with the population having no access to guns, there is no way to remove said corrupt government. You can protest. The corrupt government can do what it usually does in Middle Eastern dictatorships and shoot like 500 civilians at a time during these protests. But let's just say you want to maintain gun rights. You don't want the government to be the only one with the monopoly on force. You want them just to be able to maintain your free speech, your current liberties, your free speech, your freedom of protest, your freedom of movement, all those things, right? That's why you want to keep guns. Historically, we have examples of what happens when people take guns away. For example, communists. When they take guns away in China, you get your Cultural Revolution, millions dead. You get your Mao's Great Famine, millions dead. When they do it to the Jews, when you're not allowed to have guns because you're a Jew, in Germany, isn't it weird that the Jews are wound up in camps being starved to death and then gas chambers? Fucking weird that. It's almost like when you take away their ability to defend themselves, or their right to self-defense, they then become harmless to the government, who have a monopoly on force. Fucking weird that. Same thing in Soviet Union. They stripped gun rights from all individuals. There's a famous quote from Solzhenitsyn saying, if we knew they were going to put us in gulags, we would have met them in the stairwells with axe handles and beaten them. But, get your gun rights stripped, then they can put you in prison in gulags for speech, for insulting the current government. The Soviet Union, what was it, Article 85 or something like that? You shit-talk the Soviet Union, so you go to prison. Which is, I hate to say it, kind of exactly what's happening in the UK right now. If you have a look at the UK, I mean, they've outlawed their own flag because it insults the current political party, I guess. It insults the far left. Far left view it as racist and oppressive, so they've banned it and they put you in prison if you fly the flag. Yet if you destroy their flags, like the LGBTQ flag, it's a hate crime and you can get put in prison for it. If you shit talk LGBTQ people online or in public in the UK, it's a hate crime and you can go to prison for it. Are you seeing the fucking parallels here? What happens when you take guns away? It is history repeating itself. Just outright. It's not even rhyming, it's repeating itself. You have gulags in the UK now, right now, because they never had gun rights. They never had the right to self-defense, the proper right to self-defense. Similar things are gonna happen in Australia next. Just because we don't have the right to fucking self-defense. Which seems like it's a critical right for individuals to have. After all, it is an evolutionary right. It's a right given by God. Like, where does the state get off telling you when you can and can't defend yourself against it? It's like the ultimate gaslight. It's just completely fucking retarded. Oh, and by the way, the gun rights need to be explicitly tied to the right to self-defense. It can't be what Australia has, where it has to be, no, you need a specific reason for the gun. That gun can't be self-defense, defense of self, defense of family. It has to be either hunting, or it has to be sport shooting, like target shooting, which in itself is insane. Like, why would you only want a gun for target shooting? Ultimately, like, why would you be getting good at a gun otherwise? Like, the reasoning for it, like, it needs to be explicitly stated. No, this is for myself, for self-defense against bad actors, and I'm entitled to self-defense against bad actors. Those bad actors, in my opinion, can be up to and including the government, especially when the government's being totalitarian and shit. Like, a big thing the other day was, they were trying to paint Desi as this, evil dude who got radicalized online by an online video of two police officers beating a schizophrenic woman. And if you don't know that story, it is absolutely fucking atrocious. They didn't just beat her. She was naked, by the way. She's a naked, mentally ill schizophrenic woman. They beat her, they pepper sprayed her, and because she was naked, they pepper sprayed her in her vagina. They dragged her by the hair out into the road. By the way, for all this, they turned off their body cameras. This was all caught by a camera in a nearby business. And then they beat the shit out of her on the road, including kicking her while she was down. Two male police officers did this to, like, a schizophrenic woman. Now, the state saying I have no individual right to self-defense and that people like this should be the arbitrators of any sense of justice in my life, that is an untenable state of things. That is unacceptable. It's simple as that. The police officers can be good. Yes, they can also be like these two police officers were, and fucking evil. Incredibly evil. Like, insanely evil, like, evil enough to justify the death penalty, in my opinion. If you're going to beat a schizophrenic woman, by the way, she died like 18 months after this assault. If you're going to pepper spray a schizophrenic woman in the vagina with pepper spray, and then kick her in the middle of the road in the street, like, beat her, that's like sexual torture, and that's like torture, and ugh, it's like absolutely fucking disgusting. Like, probably hang those people. They have clearly got no moral compass. Like, that's not just a, the dog pissed you off so you kicked the dog sort of deal. That's significantly worse than that. That's like malevolent torture. Like, those police officers should be fucking hanged for that. Like, they shouldn't be alive for that. That's fucking evil. That's a horrible abuse of authority. And to have a government or political structure say your entire sense of justice relies on these people, you don't have the individual right to self-defense. These are, if an aggressor attacks you, you don't have the right to fight back. You have to flee, and you have to wait for individuals like this, who may or may not be corrupt. That's just an unacceptable state of things. But yeah, Charlie Kirk died, and the evil forces at work in the universe that apparently couldn't deal with Charlie Kirk's words that killed him are now going to try and use that to ban individual gun rights and the individual's right to self-defense, especially against them. So this appears to be a severely malevolent evil at work in the world. I hope justice occurs to all of them, and it will, at least in the next world. If not this one. If they end up in prison in this one, they're gonna be fucking insanely narcissistic and sociopathic, whoever it is that done this, because like the worldview itself would select for that. Like, it's insanely narcissistic to say you're trans and that you have to accept that I'm trans. Like, that's just an insanely narcissistic worldview. To the point of being goofy. So, like, those people feel torture significantly more strongly because they're not in control of the torture. So they tend to suffer it far, far worse. And it appears that that's going to be what happens if they wind up going to prison. They very likely will not have a good time in prison either. But, bit rough. Extremely rough. It's insane that Charlie Kirk had to die for these people.